Alright, well, hey guys, Rob RC3 Art here. It's been a while since I've made an actual haul video. Most of the time I've just been saying hey or catching you guys up on what I've been doing with my art, etc., etc. But my local comic shop, or one of them, and there's actually a number of local comic shops near me right now, but my local comic shop, a couple times a year, they do a dollar comic day, and what they do is they have a separate room that they keep for all their back stock, and they open it up to everyone to go in, look at all this back stock stuff. Most of it's pretty common things. Occasionally you can find something good if you really dig, but I don't know, hundreds of comics are put back there. You might be able to see my image in this monitor right here. Hi. Okay. Anyway, so hundreds of comics. Probably even closer to thousands of comics. There's a ton of comics, boxes and boxes that they put out, and most of it's stuff that they've gotten from people who've turned in comics or sold comics. They've gone through, found all the good stuff, pulled all that out, and just tossed the rest in a box and said, whatever, we'll just sell it later. And they keep certain back stock, but not everything. So they do a big sale, dollar comics, and then like 35% off anything in the store, which becomes really huge. Unfortunately, my funds are not super high, so I have to be really careful on what I get. Anyone who knows me well enough knows that I am not only a collector, but an investor as well. So if you'll notice, a lot of stuff I pick up is for investment purposes. There's stuff that I might buy and try and get a cheaper price, maybe flip on eBay or flip later, hold on for speculation possibly. There's a lot of different reasons I pick up a comic, but there are personal things that I like to collect. Mostly my favorite artists, some of my favorite covers, or certain stories that I really enjoy. I like to collect some of those comics. So when it comes to collecting, that tends to be my collecting habits. So without further ado, I'm going to show this little bit of a haul. Anyone who's been on the Blast It or Stash It page recently will have known that I was looking at a new XMen 118, and this was in that dollar bin that I was talking about. Apparently it's the first appearance of some type of cuckoos or something. I think I read about them being 4 psychics or something like that. I know everybody was really nice to tell me that was a really cool storyline, and things like that. But I remember seeing this for a particular reason when I was looking at comics, and I remember it being in a speculation list somewhere, and that's what I was trying to figure out, and I could never figure it out. So I couldn't really pass it up for $1. And if it has first appearance of some people in it, one day you never know. Maybe somebody will decide to use said cuckoos and bring them together. So not only did I pick up one, but I actually picked up more than one. Quite a few more than one, actually. Picked up, 7. Maybe went a little overboard. Don't know. I am for $1 a piece if they end up being really good. I know the new X-Men had a lot of first appearances in it, and so $7 that might eventually turn into, you never know. They could turn into $10 a piece. So that's pretty cool. Next thing I picked up, I always like to pick up really nice Psylocke covers for investment purposes. These tend to go for a pretty penny on eBay. I could probably flip that around for a few bucks. Once again, another dollar comic I found. Really pretty cover. I really like it. I don't know who the artist is on it. I think it's a Middleton cover maybe. But really pretty cover. Definitely probably going to, like I said, a lot of stuff I buy is for investment. I like Psylocke. That's one of my sister's favorite comic characters, but she's really hot right now in the comic investment. So keeping an eye out for really decent Psylocke covers does seem to get you a little bit if you're into investing. Second thing I actually got 2 copies of. One was a little, sorry about the camera, I don't have anything to hold the camera right now on my hand. I picked up one was in so-so shape and the other one was in better shape, but right now Adam Hughes is really hot. He's a really big artist. Everyone loves his stuff, and more and more people are starting to go after his older things because a lot of his newer stuff is starting to get so expensive, it's getting hard to grab, so people are starting to snatch anything he has that was older, right around the time of, I don't know, probably about 10 or 15 years ago when he started changing his style to pretty similar to what we know today. So I found one. I knew he did this series, or he had issue 1, 2, and 3. I did not have issue number 4, I don't believe, and something tells me that issue 4 is probably going to be the harder one to find of all these. So I'm probably going to flip these as well. So Rose and Thorn, issue number 4. Adam Hughes cover. I picked up 2 of those. Like I said, $1 a piece is... I'm trying to straighten up my phone there. $1 a piece is really, really hard to pass up. For anything that has big artists on them. Adam Hughes especially, if you can find some of his stuff in dollar bins, especially his more modern stuff, you might as well grab it. I mean, I snatched it in a heartbeat. I had a big number of comics. I actually had about $30 worth of comics. And I put a lot of them back because of monetary issues. I didn't really want to blow all my money because I knew I was going to have to buy these things right here, these envelopes, which work really good for if you want to go. I might make a video about how to ship stuff the cheapest possible way. It took me forever to figure out the cheapest possible way. I was always sending in the USPS envelopes, those kind of thinner cardboard, and then you put thick cardboard around it, and then you stick it, thick cardboard, tape it all together, stick it inside those envelopes, stuff it as tight as you possibly can, the best you can, and then send it out. And it's really, really hard to move. But that's $6.45 standard shipping. If you do the exact same thing, a little hint that I figured out. If you do the exact same thing, put it all in those envelopes, like a lot of people like to send stuff if it's cheaper, and stick it in one of these, and send it first class instead of priority. It might take a little bit longer, but it'll cost you, depending on where they live at. You want to do your research. If they don't live too awful far from you, these will be cheaper. These will be like $3 to $4 compared to the $6.45 standard rate priority. And you can basically just take it. These are 10.5 by 15s. They equivalent out to about $1 a piece. So I'll say about $1 to $2 just by sticking the same exact thing inside one of these, plastering that label on there, and shipping it out. Especially if you sell on eBay, because you get a really nice discount. So anyway, little hints. To finish up my hauls, I actually got a little bit for today, but I don't want to sit there and make it look like I do nothing but invest. I do enjoy investment, and it's a lot of fun. It's almost like a treasure hunt for me. I love going through comics and finding the comics that might get me a little bit of money. Especially if it's the little bit of money that will get me more comics, especially ones I like. So anyone who's been watching my channel or where I get my inspiration from, I really love Michael Turner. If I find a Michael Turner comic in a dollar bin, unless I have like 3 or 4 copies of it, like that Justice League right there, I literally have 4 copies of that comic because it's just so easy to find in dollar bins. Unless I have like 4 copies of it, I'm not going to pass it up, especially something I don't have. So I was really excited to find this. I've been looking for this to get put in my collection. The Battlestar Galactica #1. Not incredibly hard to find. You can probably buy it on eBay for $7, but when the money, you ain't got a ton of money, finding stuff in dollar bins is a lot of fun, and I was really glad to find that in dollar bin. And I found another comic that I actually had a copy of, but it was bent, and I didn't realize it when I bought it. So it was really nice to buy this. This one's in better shape. It's not the best shape imaginable, but it's still going to be a, at least a 9, I'd say. Tomb Raider Witchblade crossover. Another great Turner cover. One of his older, slightly older, but I really liked this cover. If you were a kid that, from the late 80s or grew up in the 90s, you probably played Tomb Raider, and I played a lot of it and really enjoyed Tomb Raider. So it was really cool to have a crossover. Love Turner's work, of course. He inspires a lot of the stuff that I do. And I take a lot of his things, as you can tell by my wall, all except for that Superman Unchained are all Michael Turner covers. So I get a lot of my inspiration from him, and those who follow my art know that I tend to like to pull some of his essence into what I do. And that's most of what I got for my dollar. I spent probably 3 hours. Yeah, I probably spent at least 3 hours. My wife would probably say about that much looking through these comics. And I'm going to tell you right now, I might have got through half of what they had in the dollar bins. I really wish I had more time. Unfortunately, engagements I had with of course, my wife and my daughter, who's now starting to she's starting to really show some light, some really fun things. I say life, but she's starting to show some really fun things. She's as she gets closer to a year old, she's been a lot more fun to hang around. She has a lot of personality now. All right, so my last few things for this haul, I actually found today. I did not know they were even made until today, and I picked them up just because I looked around on eBay and saw that they were not only are they hard to find, you guys might be able to hunt them down after I say this on the video, but not only were they hard to find, but they I didn't even know that they sold them. But anyway, without further ado, DC Rebirth at Walmart. I don't know if anybody notices anything different, if anybody pays attention to the Rebirth stuff. It is the same cover as one of the regular Rebirth covers, but the font here is in black, while the other one I believe is in, I want to say either yellow or orange or red or something like that. And the barcode's different because it's made for a retail store compared to a direct edition. So it also comes with 2 other comics. I really don't know what's in it. I wish I did know. I did notice when I was looking at some of these that the other 2 comics that were in there had different colors, so they might be 2 different comics. I don't know. So I found this. They were it was a $5 pack. I was looking on eBay, saw they were selling. I know a lot of people get caught up in this. They are going. I'm gonna give the little quotation marks. They were going for. I saw between 15 and 20. But always know to double check your eBay and look by sold / purchase, not the price. And that's, I know a lot of comic shops get that mixed up all the time. I hate it when I go to a comic shop and see something sitting on the shelf and it's $20, and I'll look it up on eBay and it's going for $20, but you look at the sale history and you notice that it has not ever sold for $20. It was $19.99 and then best offer taken, or $12.99 or $11.99 was the last one sold. So I hate it when comic shops do that. It can be really overpriced, and I know some people look differently on people who do what I do, which is investing instead of collecting. I do collect, like I said, but I'm more of the looks kind of guy because I love art. I do read some of the comics. There are a few that I read, but I've read very few, far in between comics these days. I started getting kind of burnt out of all the reboots and the number ones and 11111. It's been a year since the last number one. Let's do another number one. Yeah, that sounds a great idea. Anyway, I'm ranting. So yeah, got the Wonder Woman number one. It is considered a variant because, well, it is. I guess it would be a Walmart exclusive variant because I haven't seen any other of these with that same type of font. So, picked up one of those. Picked up a second. Reason why is if for some reason these don't sell, I'm going to bust one open so I can read it, keep in my collection. This one I think is one of the packs that look like the same comics were in it. You can see that red. You can see exactly the same comics. So it looks like these two Wonder Woman packs I got are the same comics. Then the other part I was excited about is I got this one. So I had Batman. Always a good choice to get a Batman. Looks to be two different comics than the Wonder Woman ones. I don't see any of that red or a different color. Great cover. I love the cover. Is it a Finch cover? I think it's a Finch cover, if I remember correctly. So I got two of those. And I think this is the one that, I don't know, it's really hard to tell. Obviously the first comic is the same. You can tell that none of the other comics, none of the other comics are Rebirth comics because there's no blue lines at the top. So whatever other comics are in here are not going to be Rebirth. They're going to be other comics, but so I got two of those, and then I found this one. I don't know if there was going to be any difference or not. A different Batman Rebirth, and like I said, there is a slight difference. I believe in this one the actual word Batman is in a different color. I think it's in white compared to, I think it was like a yellowish, and then in this one the symbol at the top is a different setup as well, and of course the barcode gives it away as well. So there you have it, guys. There's my hauls. Like I said, the Walmart stuff I mostly picked up for investment. We'll see if it doesn't turn around. It was only out $5 for 3 comics. That's still a good deal considering most of these comics were $3 at the newsstand. So it's basic math, $9 compared to $5. So you save $4 just there. And if I do end up flipping them for $10 a pop, then I'm I got back my money plus a little bit. Either way, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the wobbliness of my camera. Unfortunately, I'm having to hold it up because I don't really have anything to hold this camera on right now. A lot of stuff moving around and doing a lot of things. I've had a hard time getting to do any type of art recently, and it's been kind of disappointing, but I'm trying to sell some comics. I keep on buying and flipping comics because I'm trying to afford one of the correspondence courses with the Qbert School. I wanted to go ahead and try and do one of those with the critiques so that I can see how I'm doing. Maybe I can get some feedback, and maybe I'll even get lucky enough for one of the Qbert sons to actually look at my stuff and tell me how I'm doing and give me some critiques on where to go from there. But thanks a lot, guys, and keep on collecting, investing, or however you like to do comic books.